Hi everybody, Corrie Thorne, spiritual healer. Sorry, I am so late coming in with these messages. I'm doing the channeled messages for the month of January. I'm really truly trying to get to the like the yearly forecast, but they're not really coming up for me. Not the way that I thought they, well, no, not the way I thought. I thought I would have like all these in before Christmas and it didn't happen that way, but that's kind of life. So that's how everything in life is right now. So nothing's going as I planned and everything is going as planned by something outside of self. So I'm trusting the journey and I hope to have them out in the next week or so. But for in the meantime, I am going to do the monthlies for January. So we are late. We are until the 12th. I'm recording these on the new moon. Had to wait for the energy to shift, is what I was told, because there's a lot of bull energy out there right now. And I don't mean like that in any sort of way of meaning like bullshit. I mean it in the way of that there's a lot of like stubborn energy and there's a like horned energy of like just fighting back, fighting back, fighting back. And I'm like, ugh. And so I'm channeling through each month individually and really trying to just get through the energy. So I'm starting with Aries. And so as I'm starting with Aries this month, this was a sense of there's a lot of divine intervention, a lot of divine protection, a lot of divine love. And I feel like this sense of, and I really feel the sense of like liberation, like freedom, like being set free. There's a sense of freedom. And finally, and I've been saying this even last month, like Aries have had a tough, full few years since 2018. I'm kind of like, for a lot of the Aries, this like all this energy. I'm afraid of what even words we're allowed to say anymore. I'm like, I gotta like think about what we're allowed to say. And that sucks for being a channel, because as a channel, we have, or as a mystic in a channel, we have all these messages that are coming through that are beyond the human ego and beyond the human story. And so it's really, and I'm not gonna lie, it's frustrating, and it's so frustrating right now. And the last place in the world that we want to be is in these places right now. And see, I'm really having to say my words very carefully because there's so much going on and so much happening. And so, but the Aries energy is like you have been through, this is kind of like, okay, this is happening, but what happened inside of my own world, what happened inside of me over the past few years has been horrendous. And I mean horrendous, but it's been a beautiful experience in a way of, because you got to see the beauty in everything and what you learn and what you grow from and what you take from it, what you take from every experience. If you can find that golden thread, find the win. And I always say, like, really look at it as where you are at the ending of every story. And so liberation and really truly starting to now be able to start to dream again, manifest again, breathe again, everything. That's what it feels like for the Aries energy. And I'm using the Kyle Gray deck of the Angel Guide Oracle. And it wasn't the deck that I originally had planned. And sometimes I'm back and forth in decks and sometimes not. But there's this other deck that's in creation. And this other deck, and it's only in pictures now. It's still only printed on pictures with little sticky notes and words written on the back because this is my deck of Oracle cards. And as you can see on the wall behind me now, you'll see they're called the Everyday Goddess Oracle. So there is the little goddess and there's the big goddess over there, and it's the Everyday Goddess. And so these cards are now finally have every single card created. Now we're fine tuning, now we're numbering, now we're creating the book. And so there is this creation that is on the way. So I'm using the pictures and the writings that I have for some of my readings. And so this is the beautiful little Everyday Goddess. And and so these are illustrated by Amelia Richard, who's an amazing artist who lives on Vancouver Island. And they are the channeled creations of myself. And I'm not an artist, so mine is not quite as pretty as what I sent to her. And it's amazing how when you allow and you trust, when you allow and you trust and you stay in that energy of trusting that, you can't do everything on your own. When you truly allow that, it's the magic that comes to life when you let somebody else step in and give another view of something, another perspective, to take a creation or to take an image and to allow there to be more than one view, allow there to be more than one way that it can be interpreted. And that's kind of what we got. The whole energy of the whole world is, it's through the eyes of those who are seeing it, and what you're feeling inside is how we're perceiving our own reality in our own life. And so everybody is living in the reality of their stories, and the truth that is aligning to them. But my Aries energy truly is about stepping into divine energy. It's like you've had to use everything that you've had to be the warrior, to be that strong strength, to just freaking get by, to get through. You've had to fight hard for who you are. And so up until tonight, up until this is the 12th, it's like hickory dickory dock. Right. And so it's like that whole sense when the clock strikes 12, and I'm like, this one's got to be in while we're still in the energy of the new moon, to say, I got it, I've captured this, I've got this moment, and from this point on, I am now doing this, I'm now taking this step, I'm now stepping over here, I'm now walking this journey. And it's like there's a powerful conviction for my Aries. Come on. So Aries, I'm one of you. I'm getting this message loud and clear tonight. And so this is the holy love, and we're being wrapped in this amazing, beautiful, holy love energy. And it's 11:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on the 12th. And so it's the holy love. It is the divine feminine. It is the Mother Mary. It's the whole sense of the divine above and the divine below, in like joining together and meeting in the middle at the bridge center of us. So at the power center, at the love center, at the heart center of us. And we're meeting right here. And when I look at this card, and I call it the liberation, kind of like manifestation. So in mine, I have a card called uh, liberty, and so and it's that freedom. And so it kind of looks like this, but at the center of this, you see the sense that at holding in our hands and flowing over, and at our heart is like flowing out of this like sand falling through the hourglass. And it's like that whole sense of manifesting and creating from a place of hope, of looking up, of holding on strong to faith and hope, and looking up and beyond that sense of, if you think about, when 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 a lot of the uh, families from, you know the European countries, and through the wars and through those times, had to start, they start to really knowing that they were free to go start a new life and travel through and into the US, and into that sense of Lady Liberty, and seeing and arriving at that point, at that pivotal point of where you knew you could take a breath. You didn't know what was coming. There was still reasons to be fearful, because there was so much unknown, but there was hope, there was faith, because you had taken action steps. There was like the miracle was unfolding in front, that you had this opportunity to start this new life. Well, that's kind of where we are in the energy. And so with that comes harmony and resolution, and being able to rise up and stretch yourself out, and just be able to expand your horizon, expand who you are, and be able to start clearing out that energy, Aries, as we're truly stepping in now and truly embarking this new age of Aquarius that is arriving. And it's like, yes, it's an air sign and you're fire, but what does air do to fire? It ignites it rises it up. And of course, Aries, we also have a whole lot of our energy in the moon energy and in the Mars, and we're, Mars is our ruling planet. And I'm just like, there's a lot that's lighting our way right now. And for us to be lit up and charged by this energy is a perfect time. I mean, Aries loves a good challenge. So why not challenge ourselves to rise when there's a pandemic or when there's other stuff happening? Oh, I said the freaking word. And so, like, during these times and when things are happening, it's like what I'm picking up and sensing is that whole sense of finding a solution that really aligns to being able to take you into the next stage of your life. And there's a lot of like that white bluish kind of energy. So that blue flame, that light blue flame, that white flame, that violet flame, like that whole divine essence. And I want to say Zedekiel is very large, Archangel Zedekiel. And I also have the presence of the Saint Germain, and it's like the whole sense of the I am, and I am the light. I am powerful. I am empowered. I have within me all that I need to be able to move forward. And so for a lot of my Aries, that's kind of the energy that you're in. But you may be sadly, you may be disappointed, sadly disappointed, if you place too high of expectations on everything happening right now. You didn't just come like you didn't fall, it didn't all like the resistance didn't come in and leave right away. It stayed for a long time. So there's a lot of healing journey that's still happening. There's a lot of things that have to align, but it's also now being able to give back. And so when you look at your life and you look at the people who have given to you, people who have helped you, now you find the sense of how do I give back, and how do I find a way to be a little bit kinder and more gentle, and to be able to just be able to hand something back. And so the card that comes out is mercy, and this is, I'm using Diana Cooper Angel of Light, because there's a lot of angels coming in of Angel of Light for you, and the mercy. And it's about now showing yourself mercy, even if you've had to be a little bit angry, you had be a little bit resistant, you had to be a little certain way. I just feel like you truly have to honor right now yourself by saying, I show myself mercy and others for everything that every like ounce of reaction and response out of fear that we have been witnessing and seeing, and just being able to show mercy. And if the whole world could show a little bit of mercy and a little bit of compassion towards each other, we might be in a better place. But because we don't have that right now, and there's a whole lot I really want to say, that I am an Aries and I'm very passionate, and it's like, but there's a sense of I don't have the anger. I have a projection, and as a projection of love. And I just feel like it's projecting out love. So the development, the quality of mercy, forgive yourself and everyone around you. Be mag, magnificent, magnificent. I can't even say it. I can't even see it. Magnificent. See the good in others and give them the benefit of doubt. Open up to compassion, but most of all, accept the wisdom within that recognizes the divine in every creation. That means every other human. Because I'm going to tell you something. Every human out there is very much worthy to still live a life upon this earth, and to live a safe life and a happy life. And that just because we all have different views does not give us a right to take everything away and destroy the lives of others. And that's the truth. And I have to sneak that in there because it's very strong in your Aries energy. Because I feel like there's a lot of my Aries who've really been challenged, had a lot of judgment placed upon you. You've been through a lot. And I'm like, no, it's not fair. It's not right. We're not here to mistreat each other that way. That's not what we're here to do. Kindness and compassion. Be kind. It's so simple. So simple. But we've complicated it, and we've allowed so many things to take place. And I'm going to say it goes all the way back to sunscreen. Like things like that. Things in situations where fear has been instilled into us. And so where in your life has fear stories, and placing yourself in fear and saying that you have to hide, you have to stay out of that, you have to stay away, you need this, you need what I have. And so everything that I'm selling, you need. And I'm like, no. So if I told everybody that everything that I have available, you need to purchase everything of it, that probably wouldn't be a truth. You find what aligns to you. And if the story feels like it suits you and it suits your life, then, or it suits you, the direction of your life, then maybe it's the thing for you. And you may get halfway through and you may change your mind. That's life. And so knowing that when we learn to have compassion for each other and we open up to compassion and we start to allow divine wisdom instead of ego to rule our lives, we can start to see things in a different way. When you temper your attitude, when you temper your attitude towards others with mercy, you show them grace. You spread much light, joy, and freedom, and empower others to find the good in themselves. Choosing this card may mean that the angels of mercy are offering you release from your pain and difficulties. Accept it graciously. I am merciful. I accept that. I'm accepting that. And I'm accepting that I'm worthy. And I'm accepting that I'm worthy of all the same beautiful golden opportunities and all the same light that everyone else in the world has. And that no matter how much of any sort of like desire that someone else has to not believe in me or think that I shouldn't be allowed to have a voice or be able to speak, then um, that speaks a lot. That speaks volumes to what we should really be paying attention to. And so it's like when we go to those places, when we allow ourselves to be held captive and entrapped in those kind of stories, we have issues. And Aries are not very good at that. So we tend to be wanting to be a little more free. We don't like to be in a box and we don't want to be stifled. And that's the truth. And so there's much love around there. So flexibility is your other angel card, Aries, for January. And I know we're only running on a half a month, but it had to wait until the new moon before 12, hickory dickory dock, is that we couldn't let the clock strike 12. And so it's like, because after that, there is a stage of, in all healing journeys, there's the whole build up, there's the get there, and then it's an ending, and then there's a blank space, those moments that happen between the 12 and the 1, right? Like, so there's those moments that happen between when you go to sleep and when you wake up. There's always those moments of darkness, and that darkness is not a bad thing. It's a pause time. It's a quiet time. It's a time of looking into the depths of where we have been, and to be able to know that we have enough faith and enough light in ourselves to be able to still rise above that, to still be able to come out from that. And there's so much more love happening around us. And so life is full of changes and surprises. If I had glasses, I could actually see this, but I don't have glasses. So that's why the card is so far away, because I got to be able to read it. Life is full of changes and surprises. Your guidance is to move with the current, for it is resisting the flow which creates problems. Ask your angels to help you open your mind, your heart to new ideas and fresh options. When you accept the possibilities that there's other ways, previously unseen, doorways will be opened to you and you will move easily through change. There is a solution to every problem. So look at all things with eyes of love, expectations, then life force will flow freely through you. You will feel healthy and alive and can accept the necessary resources and wisdom within yourself to help you through the change. I am free and flexible. And that's a huge one. And so, as we also have Archangel Ezekiel, we also have Archangel Jophiel. And Jophiel's been with me all weekend. If you are not on my school, Corrie School of Magic, all the information is down below. We had a huge online event this weekend, and it was full of love and full of beautiful messages, and it was women coming together and supporting each other in such a big way, and being a voice of love and opportunity to make a change within ourselves, because we don't change the world, we change ourselves. And so Archangel Jophiel really came through for me and a lot of the work. And it works on the golden ray, drawing wisdom from source. And I'm a channel, so I take every piece of Corrie and I push her aside, and I allow the channel to give these messages of love. And so drawing wisdom from source, ask him to illuminate you and help you connect with your own deep knowing. He will also help you to learn and absorb information. So if you are studying or involved in any form of education, divine assistance is available to you now. Call on Archangel Jophiel for direction and strength, and he will help you remove negativity and become open minded, clear, and wise. The angels remind you it is time for you to wear the golden cloak of wisdom and visualize yourself surrounded in golden light and be wise. And that's a message for me as well. And I'm wearing my golden, I'm placing that golden cloak of love and that golden cloak of around myself and honoring that within me before the message even goes out. Because what I have learned for us Aries is that it's like, yeah, we get to be known as the all about me type of thing, but actually we're very much all about everyone else. And so it's all about me is sometimes the desire that we want everyone else to be happy. We want, so what we want for somebody else is that not always the best, not always the best for them. And we have to sometimes step aside and put focus on ourselves. So January, the rest of January and February is about focusing on you. And you are a priority, you are important, and I want you to make yourself important. Um, I'm doing the same thing for me. I'm really slowing down on my individuals, my um, my one-on-one sessions right now. I'm barely working on one-on-one sessions. I'm working 1 week a month. I'm it's scary. It's nerve-wracking to just think that I'm kind of in the peak of everything, stepping back a little bit, but I know when. And I know that we've had to be a light in the darkness a long time now. And it's time to step back a little bit. And so I will be, and that's what I mean. Taking a little leap towards you this month and February, like all little leaps if you can't take big leaps, and just start taking steps towards you. What is going to what is going to bring you into a place of harmony, peace, resolution? What's going to take you to that place? And allowing yourself to sit in and embrace the divine, holy love that's wrapping around you is so important. So as I go through my own deck of oracle cards, I'm asking for a card of love. And I got the front deck, which is also a card in the deck. And so this is Grace in the deck. And I'm not sure where she is right now, but that card popped back out for me. And so just knowing that, we all have this innocence in us, and we're all innocent. We're all innocent until somebody tries to take our light, or until something tries to take our light, until somebody tells us we're not good. So we're all innocent, we're all pure, we're all that till somebody kind of tells us we're not. And so this is a return to the innocence, a return to the sense of self, and also a return to you. And knowing that sometimes this card's a really hard card to look at, and it's like, it's kind of like an uncomfortable card. She has no hands, she has no feet. She's a essence of a divine. You kind of think you're looking at Mother Mary, but you kind of think you're looking at yourself. And that's kind of the reflection of the divine mother, is that through the eyes of the divine mother, through the divine energy, is that I learned to see me. And through that in every everyday goddess, when you stop looking so hard outside of yourself and you start to look at the light that's within you, you discover something that has been long forgotten. And you just start to be able to wear your truth. And when you start to wear your truth, it may be a bit uncomfortable for a lot of people around you, but it starts to get comfortable for you, and it starts to feel right for you, and you start to feel for you. And now it's time for Aries, for you to feel for you and make yourself a priority. Much love, and enjoy the rest of January. And this kind of will take you a little bit into February as well, or all of February. Who knows? But much love. And if you find this at another time and it's not January and the message resonates with you, then it's for you. Whenever you receive it, whenever you find it, then that message is exactly the one that you need for that day. If you're cross watching and you're being kind of nosy for somebody else, curious, that's a better word, then if there's a message in here for you, take it. It's also for you. Much love. Enjoy. I love you all. Bye bye.